What are you going to ask me?
Just chat about your days at Charlton, if that's all right with you. And your because what I'm really interested in finding out. I mean, the history is it's all down there. I mean, it's all been recorded. But just I want to try and record what it was actually like. Sort of compare football from then to today. And obviously the different attitude that there was, on the terraces for one, certainly on the pitch as well, compared to the sort of thing that goes on today. Because I mean, these days football, so much in the news, and it's normally bad news as far as the support goes. Anyway, I think it's important to sort of record something. I'm publishing a book, which will hopefully reflect on what football was actually like through at Charlton, from their beginnings up to the present day.
Well, the difference that I see it is that all they do today is that they collect in the centre circle. You find about 8 or 9 players all in the centre circle you can count. Where in our day you beat a player and in the other, it wasn't you that was going on with it. It's what space someone, a partner or whoever it was on the left wing, it was the inside forward, or the wing half behind you. What space they made for you to give them a ball in an open space. They don't seem to do that today.
One of the things I've noticed, but even say, for example, when a corner's taken, if you look at, if I look at the old sort of movie tone newsreel or whatever, and you see maybe only sort of 4 or 5 defenders in the penalty box. And everyone else
see, with these corners now, I should think one of the first that started in swingers and all that in the first division. And CD, the manager, he used to have I found out this afterwards, he used to have a gang of reporters come down on a Monday, and when we'd done our training, he used to send down on the pitch, Hobbis kick 6 corners from each side, no goalkeeper. So Mickey Bardram, he never had to go in.
Yeah.
Well, it's bloody hard with your foot, but I could safely say that I could get 4 out of 6
with either foot,
with each side into the net.
Yeah.
Whether they were good ones
Yeah.
or bouncers or things like that, but
Yeah.
I could more or less say, this is what he used to bet on in with these reporters. He said that, and he was taking money, and I found out of one of these reporters one day. So I said, right, well, we'll have him then. So I said, now stick a bit on for me. And I missed every one, didn't I? Me and CD never got on me. He hated the Londoner. I'm not a Cockney really, but as long as you was a Geordie, you was all right. But the rows I had with him, terrible rows I've had.
And what was he actually like as a manager, as someone to actually work with? Because he sort of
no bloody good. No. All he knew about, he'd come in at half time and say, kick it up the middle, the wind's behind you. That was about as good as him. Brownie was the same, me and Brownie.
Yeah. So
last thing with Brownie was I had to hold him back from fighting him.
Yeah.
Down at, what ground was that? West Brom, I think. Yeah. He'd come in there and he started raving like hell. Brownie was on the fiddle to get away somewhere. But it's just when he was in about 10 a lot. I had to hold him from there. Anyway, he slung a boot at him.
Because to me it's very strange, because the stories I hear from the players about Jimmy Seed are very different to the stories I hear from the supporters.
No, if they're a Geordie, they'll say he's a great fella, he's there, but he hated us lot, really did. And me, he was always fining me. Anything went wrong, he'd fine us,
What sort of things would he fine you for?
Being late. Now Brownie and me, we had I don't know whether he's told you, but he'll tell you about a bike he had. And I learnt him to drive. And he learnt in one afternoon, in 1 hour, or he thought he did, God, he drove me nuts. But anyway, we used to go on this bike, and I used to sit on the crossbar, didn't I? I had no brakes, so I used to have my foot on the fork where the fork was, but there. And you know, coming down down the hill, what was the name of that road there?
Church Lane.
Church Lane. Down there, we used to come down there. God, the trouble we used to have, and there used to be a greengrocers on the left, and Foxy we used to call him. He used to, when we went by, like if we got beat, he used to sling apples at us. We used to catch on the other side of the road. Things like that we had, and we used to go down with him, but if ever he found out, he'd do his nut. But with that bike. But then we started getting cars, didn't we? And Welshie, he wanted to charge us from coming down from right up on the top of the road on the fair. Well, you can imagine how then.
Did he get away with it?
He wasn't one of us. He used to go and buy a book on the station to read a book, where we're always getting the cards out straight away on train journeys. But he would, so the reporters would see him, he'd have his book. He didn't want to be in where the money was. Yeah, he was. I don't know. So is he still about? Is he still alive?
I think he is, yeah. Well, he should be. He was before Christmas. I'm going to be seeing him as well. He's got cancer though. He's been quite poorly past few weeks.
Terrible
operations.
But he always did think he was a stage above us.
Yeah.
But
because he joined after you, didn't he?
Yeah, CD bought him. When CD bought him, I told him he bought a dummer.
So who were the sort of the regular first team when you joined? What sort of players were they playing then? So second division.
In goal was Mickey Bartram. He got that there. Full back was John Oakes. There was Jimmy Oakes. Now there was a captain. He was one who kind of got us through, made any success. Turner was left back. Right half was Joblin. Centre half was John Oakes, who I have heard he went to Australia. I don't know.
Well, I heard the same, but I also heard that he came back. Then he's down.
Oh, John Oakes was there.
Northfleet or Gravesend.
Yeah, he was there. Now I was telling you. Interrupting now, I was telling you about these corners. Now he used to make me do these corners until I found out like we had it. Well, I still used to do it with Mickey Bartram, and that there when I was asked, but it's a bit heavy for you, 6 corners on either foot, you know, in one go like. But today, everyone goes and does in-swingers. Now, the best one I've seen on the box is Barnsley of Liverpool.
Yeah.
He really can do it.
Yeah, he can. Yeah.
But they always do in-swingers. Now, surely if they'd done an out-swinger, now that's going away from the goal.
Yeah.
To me, it was across the 6-yard line. The 6-yard line was your basic. Across there and coming out. Now, we used to have Big John Oakes, and as a centre half, he was great, you know, but he used to come up there and stand just outside that 18-yard box, and he could get up and he could go, and he could force people away as he come running through, and he used to hit them. And an out-swinger is just as bloody good as an in-swinger. I don't say the in-swingers are no good because you keep rushing the goalkeeper, but today they seem to all go round the goalkeeper, and,
and also these days
it's a fiddle or a diddle.
The box is so crowded anyway.
But an out-swinger, they don't seem to do this, and this Barnsley don't do that once, and I'm sure he would be good at it. Sure he would be.
Yeah. One of the differences.
But that's one big difference I found is there, because wingers are no wingers now. I mean, all we was there to get it over to the 6-yard far post and let someone head it in with these crosses that we used to do, but of course they don't come in it today. What as I say, there's no such a thing as a winger nowadays.
No, not really. It's sort of cross between sort of a midfield player and
I just can't see it's the space work. Someone beats a fella, but he's got nowhere to give it to. You can see some of the lads looking up sometimes, you know, what am I going to do, you know? And if someone leaves somewhere, even if they come backwards for an open space, as long as they get it, they'll draw somebody else.
Yeah, it's quite right.
That's how I have seen it from there, but nowadays it's...
I mean, did you find there was much more room on the field to move around and to do?
Well, if you didn't have any room, I mean, there was when you first went out in our days, like you'd have a full back. Say you lost the toss and crossed over, the first thing like as he's going by, he said, "Oh, you get rid of it today, so I'll break your effing leg." You know, it was like that, things like that, which I never took no notice of at all. Well, I suppose some would, but he got away with it many times. But like that, then I used to love to be able to do them. And there was one, old George Mayle at the Arsenal. Now there was one there. I could go to that byline and come right back. Yeah. Stop dead and come back. Yeah. And he'd go flying across. Right. Yeah. Now I'd done it twice on him. And I've come, we've scored a goal. Yeah. And he says, "You bastard." You know? And then, but when we played them the next time, I think we said, "Oh, I've got him where I want him." You know? And I've gone down there, turned dead like that, and my feet's come from under me. Now he has decided that where he's been going wrong, he's taking the ball, which he was. See? Now he's taking me. With his legs and all, because he knows that if he's got, I've got to get up, he's got to get up with me, and he's got time, and the ball's lying back here. Yeah. Yeah. And he when we was on the international, he told me that. He said, "Oh, I sat and I'll work that out with you, you sod." And I thought that was good. Things like that, you know. You used to get to know. I used to get to know. There was one full-back playing for West Ham. Oh, I don't forget his name now. I was lucky, really. He was there. He was a fellow named Ted Fenton. He was a manager afterwards. He was Fenton's brother, who was at Charlton.
Benny Fenton's brother.
Yeah, Ted Fenton. And they put him fullback. And you know what? You only had to do that with the shoulder, and he'd follow it. All that way, he'd follow it all the way. It was the funniest thing in the world. And
so, I mean, who were your favourite fullbacks to play against? Who did you feel that you always had the measure of?
Oh no, they always seemed to learn to me. Yeah. But no, there were some hard fullbacks, some real hard craggers. Yeah. But only hard because they come in and tackled hard. They really did, you know.
There's something that everyone always wonders about you is when you came onto the field. Yeah. The nose.
Yeah. Well, I used to suffer with my snozzle, and I used to put two. You know what you sniff up today?
That big stuff.
Something like that. I used to put 2 tablets. Trotter did that. He's gone, isn't it, Trotter?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. He used to put 2 of those on, but I had to have them out, so I wouldn't have been able to keep going, you know.
Not many people know that. No. Most people just think it was you just blowing your nose.
Yeah, well, it's there. I saw someone the other day, a young kid the other day, blow his nose on there. A big lump of snot come out, so I said, "You'll be better than that."
And what about your nickname as well? Granny.
Oh, Granny! I don't know how that came about, but most of all, I was called Cag. Yeah. Because I used to think I was funny, you know, dressed like Cagney, the film star, you know, with the big trilby hat and that. You'll see in there when we went to Canada, America on tour. Yeah. I had it and all that. And I've always had the name of Cag from there, but then it was Treacle at one time. I don't know why Treacle was. I don't know, but all sorts. I've had those kind of names. I think I got a Granny was because you know the band of the Royal Artillery used to play half time and beforehand. Well, when they played half time and you come out, where they slung all them pennies, the geezer hadn't got up far enough. There's me, like, picking up the pennies, the money. Yeah, and I used to have a handful here, and you can't, never had no pockets in your shorts, and I had one, they're all shouting out, here, I've got it over here, you know, so I think I've got that over that. But I'd have a handful of there, and I used to go up to the goalkeeper and say, here, shove that in your hat, under there, you know. But Nicky Bartram used to cheat me, he used to nick a few out.
What was he like as, to play with?
Who, Bartram?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was daredevil, you know. Thing we had all those years, we had he had some bad goals in, but he saved some impossible ones. But goalkeepers are like that. I know once he flung himself about 2 minutes to go, and we're drawing one each. Some away game and that, and 2 minutes ago, he flung himself at a ball that was going about 20 yards outside the bloody upright, and pushed it for a corner. And from the corner they scored. We all chucked him in the bath straight away in his clothes, you know. Silly things like that he used to do, but otherwise, to me, he wasn't there. We played in America, and this is the best tale I've ever read. 30s. We played there. Now we played in Chicago, a place called in Chicago. So they were having one of their winds. And their winds was like a bloody gale. And it's going up there now. All CD has said is the floodlights, they've lowered the floodlights so the spectators can see, but it might be hurting your eyes, you know. But there's not much we can do about it. Well, when we got out on the field, on this ballpark it was, all the bloody home team, they all had goggles on. so they shout out, and I used to have to go captain because I was kind of the oldest, belongest there, and then they all shouting at me, why ain't we got goggles on? Sudden goggles. No. Anyway, I take the toss and I win it, and I've got the wind behind me. Bartram gets his first goal kick after about 5 minutes. A goal kick. They couldn't play football, these Yanks. And he gets his kick and he hits it. And it goes over the crossbar at the other end. Now that's something, isn't it? That is, and he's standing there and he's doing this and that. And he's going out, kick, over the bar. And I'm standing about on the halfway line, I'm trying to shout back against this wind. You silly sod, the bonus is going, I'm trying to tell him, you know. But all I want to bloody just kick the ball in the net, and then we're all right. Anyway, it's gone over the top of it. So it was a feat. So the next time he has another one, he does it again. And he's standing back there and all that. So I go against the wind all the way back there, and I call him a few names. Got on, and then he said, well, how am I to do it then? I said, pass the bloody thing, we'll pass it forward. I said, let's get a few goals in the net, and then you can do all that bloody over the top there. Yeah. He was a silly. Never forget that, but it's the only time I've ever seen a goalkeeper, you know. With these, today, they're trying with this kicking out their hands, aren't they? One, sooner or later, will be able to do it. I'm sure he will, or one bounce and it'll go over, and it'll be like something for all the reporters to have, but I'd never seen it. Those two that went over the top of that bar, I never forget that. When we come here at half time, we was about 5 up there, and so I've said to CD, how about them with the glasses? Because when you tackled it, it was only little bits of grass, and it was all this dust stuff coming up, you know. And I said, our eyes are all sore and all that. So he said, I've been trying all the time. He says, all the first hour line, so he just sat there, didn't he, say, oh, go on, you lads. Just as long as you win, you're all right, you know. Oh, he thought, Bartram was funny. He used to sleep with me when he was pairs, you know. Yeah. In New York we was, and this when we got in this New York, and we're having a drink, and he in one of these long bars in this hotel. Then he comes to me, he says, Candy, he says, what do you think? So he shows me a ring with a diamond in it, you know. I said, I don't understand. Well, where you got that? It's this fella. Come. I said, well, what fella, you know? When we go out, a real Jack-me-lad, you know, standing there with a long coat on and all that. So he said, I've just shown my mate, you know, this ring. He's looking and he says, what, do you want one? And he lifts up his hand, he turns to him, and he gets another ring out. See? So he's saying, there you are, get, there you are. Did you see what he done? There you are. I stood there, I said, well, that don't mean anything, don't mean it. Anyway, I said, I don't want to know nothing about it. Anyway, he bought it. Yeah. Oh, I don't know, about $250 or something he paid. And I said, you silly son. Well, the girl who was looking after us, who was in charge of us, I sought her out. But the time he come down, this geezer's gone, isn't he? He's copped the money and he's away. Yeah. So she said, well, I'll get it valued in the morning, see? So she said, did you? I said, no. I said, don't fault me. I said, well, he should know better. I said, but bloody Geordie, I said, they ain't got nothing up there, all them Geordie. But of course there was about 5 of them. Anyway, that's how it was. And they got it valued, but it was well down, but she done some favour for him and all that, and got them the jewel where she took it and that, and he topped it up a bit, you know, for him and that. And, but just because he twisted this heel, like, that's what he's like, Bartram.
He was impressed by that.
Oh, he did. Then we went on to Canada, and Canada was bloody sight but worse, you know. Yeah. So we're winning 8-0. So he shouted out, can we get a penalty? Let me have it. Let me have it. Get a penalty. So Brownie, I don't know if Brownie was on that. I don't think he was. No, Brownie hadn't come in there. Anyway, something happened, we got a penalty. Yeah. He's up there in front of everybody, you know. Run all away from the car. So I said, go on then, because others are all on to me, saying, oh, it's my turn to do it. Or anyway, on he goes, and bang, he bangs it in the net. Well, that was what he was like.
He took some other penalties after that one, though, didn't he?
Who, Bartram?
Bartram, did he take the others?
Oh, I don't know. I think he took 1 or 2, but he soon come out of it. We used to have, CD used to have, he'd nominate penalty kick, and when they failed, all right, while they kept winning, getting goals, when they failed, he'd drop them, you know, and have somebody in you, which I didn't think was a bad idea.
No, quite sad.
I didn't think it was a bad idea.
So how long were you out in the States and Canada for?
Oh, I was out around with the missuses and all that. I wasn't married at the time, but Jimmy Hope's wife played there about 5 weeks, I think.
You went out and came back by...
There, but all the accounts in there, you can see what they're like. But
Was that like sort of first sort of tour that you'd been on?
Oh no, I'd been on other tours, you know. I was in France when I was 11, playing for Kent.
So Kent Schoolboys?
Kent Schoolboys, yeah.
That must have been quite an adventure.
Yeah. We used to go there on an Easter, and they used to come to one of their holiday days, you know. That was a regular thing with that was with the schoolboys.
Yeah, but to go to the States must have been very unusual.
Well,
in those
this
days.
is it. You know, we was the first soccer team to go out there. I mean, that was saying. Seedy fixed it up, but no women was allowed, no wives were allowed. But there was a hell of a row down there. I know that. Possibly I wasn't married at the time, but.
What about off the field? Were there any sort of? Did you get sort of plenty of time off and time to go out and sort of enjoy yourselves?
Oh yeah, but you don't. You only went. You go as far as the nearest pub, which was Shooters Hill Road. That was my favourite on a Saturday night. Oh,
is that the Fox Under the Hill?
That's it. Yeah. Neary, or something his name was. Yeah, he's not there now, he died. But he'd always buy me a drink, like if we won, but if we lost, he wouldn't. Well, that was all right. I never bothered about that. But I had some good nights in there. We've got a good laugh in there. You've got one or two cracks from different people, you know, but I was the kind of geezer that could take them, I think. But I used to give out more than I took, you know. I was always in trouble with Seedy.
Why was Seed why was he so successful? Why was the team so successful?
Well, he was just lucky to get us that way, I think.
Yeah.
Because he never knew. He used to walk in at. He used to give a team meeting on a Friday with a blackboard and that, and he'd start on about players, and we'd all shout him down and says, "Nah, he don't do this and he don't do that." But
so would it have been
he was just lucky to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, how much influence did Jimmy Trotter have in the sort of selections?
He was the one who kept all of us down. I mean, I never got a chance of getting a transfer or anything. I mean, many times, you know, I've gone in and asked. He just used to shut the door and get out of use.
Yeah. Because I mean, were you a regular member in sort of the promotion years?
Oh yeah.
Right the way through.
Right away. Well, we went from third to first in 2 years, didn't we? Well, I was always regular then. But I suppose St Bernard only club. Must have been there bloody near 18 or 20 years.
Yeah. You didn't play professionally for any other club?
No. Tried hard to get places.
And what about when the war came? Because obviously that messed up your career. Something
that was the war finished me. Well, as I say, finished me. I just won with 2 caps.
Yeah.
And we come back and I was right in limelight. But then the war came. Well, the war was all finished. And that's another thing. See, we used to get off on a Saturday. Now, to get off, we'd have to bribe me, being in the RAF, I had to bribe the fellow who was in charge of me.
Yeah.
I had to give him a couple of quid right there. So now we come to bloody Cholton, he used to give us a £5. If you went to any other club, they'd give you a tenner. And your exes.
Yeah.
So of course Brownie and me soon tumbled that. So
we find some sort of guesting for other clubs.
I used to be in a place called Meeple, in Cambridge,
Yeah.
and he used to be further on. Where was his place now? Anyway, he was at another place. He wasn't with me, but I was in this. Now, I'd been made up to sergeant, so I have to give. The funny thing is, you had to give PT to the air crews.
Yeah.
Now, the PT that I used to give, I used to get them all together.
Yeah.
Got their fags and matches would be the first thing I'd say to them. Got the fags and matches and said, right, now make yourself look good as you're running up. Run up through the aerodrome,
Yeah.
which was quite a good mile, through the aerodrome to a Nissan up
Yeah.
that I'd lined up. You know, I've got all there. Got the key, undone the key and gone in. Oh, you never see the bloody smoke coming out. It's like a fire. And that was it, because I was very popular.
Yeah.
And I was with a New Zealand squadron.
Yeah.
And all these New Zealand fellas, and of course they loved it, didn't they? Anyway, that's how I got my third tape. And Brownie and me, we went on tour. That's it.
Yeah.
RAF went on tour. Yeah, with the manager of the Arsenal was in charge. What was his name there? He's dead there. Good, well-known fellow. Anyway, Matthews was on it.
Yeah.
Manager of Liverpool, that was, what's his name beforehand?
I don't know.
Yeah, little stuffy fellow.
Yeah.
And we had a good side.
Shankly,
Yeah, Bill Shankly, yeah. We had a good side. So we're in, where was we in? Italy, I think. Yeah, Italy.
So obviously after the invasion, so it's towards the end.
Yeah, yeah, we're more or less on the end of our things, you know.
Yeah.
He's got this together, this there and there. We're going to play an international against this team, and so the first thing the main thing we want to know is how much we're going to get, and we ain't going to get nothing. So Bill Shanklin says, he's as cunning, he says, he says, how many tickets can we have then? So I straight away tumbled what he was on.
Yeah.
Now, if we could get a few tickets each, because they'd sold out.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got up to 4 tickets each, because then this Arsenal manager, he wanted to know, how did we know all people out here? Or what else? So what we're going to do, we're going to give them to the RAF fellas or the soldiers, you know, who come. There's bound to be some there, you know.
Yeah.
In Lisbon, was that? In Lisbon. So anyway, we got all these tickets, so all of a sudden one of the players says, well, we're going to charge, Keg. So I've looked at Brownie, and Brownie says, oh, that's an idea, isn't it? How much we could ask for? So I said, well, they won't understand us.
Yeah.
So she just say, well, he says, I'm having my RAF jacket over. We'll change early.
Yeah.
Have my RAF jacket, and we'll be outside. I said, well, I'm going to take anything they offer. So
Yeah.
he said, no, we'll have to get it. We got this man. We didn't know what we was doing anyway. We got all these tickets.
Yeah.
And Brownie and me were outside this gate. Tickets. Everyone's looking, and there's not one. And all of a sudden someone comes and he gets one, like, and I says, look, you go in there and wave to them. I'm trying to tell him, but you don't know a word I'm saying, our languages. But anyway, it goes in there and they take the ticket, you know. Anyway, I've got a load of money, like, well, these paper money in it. And Brownie says, and we got rid of the tickets, but they started playing the national anthem by then.
And you were still
in the middle of it, and we're still outside. Brownie and me, we started running. We got through, you know, let us through with these things. We got onto the field, and then we kind of stood at the side there, you know.
Yeah.
And I'll never get this playing Ellie was this Arsenal manager. And we give him all the money and it was in our hands and we played. Well, when it was all over, everyone's having a laugh, you know. Where was you then on this? We was outside getting money for you. And the thing is, well, what are we going to do with it? And bloody Matthew says, well, we'll go to the casino tonight and we'll put it on the first number. Yeah. Well, to me, I thought you weren't getting a fair go at that. But anyway, they all said, yeah, well, that's all right. See, so they suggested that Brownie put it on and they wouldn't have him, and they suggested me and they wouldn't have me at no price. So, I'll tell you, it was a fullback named Scotty, Roy Scott, Ralph Scott. He was the Arsenal fullback. He was there. We said we'd trust him. He could have it. You know, he'd do it. Put it on there. Oh, good night. Yeah. Well, things like that. That was in the war times. They were the best, you know, things that are there. Otherwise, you just you saw everything.
What about, did you guest for many clubs during the war?
Well, yeah, I did. Well, we found, Brownie and me found in the end. Now, that was another thing. See, CD used to pay this money. Now, CD had Tommy Law come one day. So we're going into the ground, and Tommy Law's there in front of me. Of course, he comes up straight away. He says, so I'm playing with you today. So I know Brownie said, your luck. He said, why? He said, well, I only get £2. He said, oh, why? He said, I only get £2. He says, oh, I won't. So I said, so I won't play. So I said, well, you go in and have a try. I said, and if you come out and you're still playing, we will know that you've got some more than us. So Brownie said, yeah, that's right. Brownie and me put it on. Brownie. We went in. Brownie said, he says to Brownie, where you come from? He says, Scotland. Could see the expenses they have and everything. So he said, no. And Brownie says, I want the same as Tommy Lawton's getting. He said, Tommy Lawton's not playing. So we knew then that Tommy Lawton had turned it down. So he says, you can have your expenses and £2 as usual. And Brownie has it.
So Brownie's coming down from Scotland.
He comes out at me, he says, come to Scotland. He says, he ain't going to make Tommy Law's gone. So I said, where am I coming from then, sir? I said, oh, it's up to you, see, so I'm trying to think. Anyway, I've gone in, I said, Scotland. So he said, Scotland? He said, yeah. So he gives me a fare right there, and with £2. When we come in at half time, he's phoned up our different one there. I found out if we're still on the books, you know, at Cambridgeshire and all that. And he wants his money back. Well, like giving us money and all that, see. So I said to Brownie, well, he said, I'll give it back to him. I said, you what? He said, I'll give it back to him. I said, oh, well, he said he'd see me afterwards. So I said, what I'm going to do? I said, well, I ain't having a bath. I said, I'm off. He said, well, you got more than I have.
So was it like
anyway, we never played with him again. And Brownie went and found a place called in Wales, near Cardiff. They were top of the Welsh League. They were. Lovells. They went there. And when you played for them,
Yeah.
they gave you the same money, £8, and a bag of sweets. Now, a bag of sweets in the war was something.
Yeah.
It really was a bag of sweets. And, well, Brownie and me would have played for the sweets only. And we got these sweets. I got the sweets for my kids, you know. Yeah, so of course we always wanted to go to Lovell's.
Yeah.
But he used to say, "You're coming here, like, and where are you going this week, or can you get off," and all this.
So what about the did you play in any of the World Cup finals? Charlton involved in?
No, I never played at Wembley.
Never went.
No, never once. No, I was always injured the week before or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's been a bit of a blow, that one.
yeah. It was the biggest I've ever had, I think.
Yeah.
Not playing at Wembley.
And of course, the other thing that everyone remembers, of course, is the Valley in 1938, the Aston Villa Cup game, and then the second replay when you broke your leg.
Oh yeah.
Just sort of, is that the
Yeah.
photograph there? Have you been carried out?
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things. Now, that was a funny thing. They were fighting over the top of me. I'm laying in the 6-yard box
Yeah.
affair with my leg lying flat on the floor, and I got it up this way, and that's the first I knew, like, it had gone, you know. And I'm saying no, right, and they're fighting over the top of me. Jimmy Oakes, he's come up to this big Scottish wing arm or something, and they can have a go, they are, and all that. And I didn't know no more. And you know what, my father, they sent a letter of condolences and all that, and to me, like, you know, my mother and father saw me, you know, in hospital and all that, and my father went and sent, you know, back telegrams, you know, wishing them luck in the next round, and thanking them for what they'd done to me. What the telegram they had sent, you know, which was, I suppose, only polite. Well, Seedy come up. He was like, round the bed. He was like a maniac. He said that he was going to sue Aston Villa. It was over the top, you know. It was over the top.
How did it actually happen?
He said, and then you send her there. Well, I said I didn't send it. It was my father who sent it. But well, he done his nut. Oh.
Can you remember how it actually happened?
No, I was shooting the goal, and I suppose he did go over the top, and he went through. It's one of those things, isn't it? But it was to lay there. He's wondering, you know, whether you're finished and all that was there, but I'll come back.
What about actually sort of the Valley as a ground? What was it like to play in, or, you know, train at?
Oh, I like the Valley. It's the track was good for, you know, going round. You used to half the teams up, whichever it was, you know, and you used to run. I used to run an 8er, you know, 8 times around. Well, one half would go one way and the other half would come the other way, so that you'd cross halfway. So like, as you was crossing after about 2 or 3 laps, one team's getting in front, aren't they? So you'd hear them, all the lads shouting, "Yeah, turn it in, what's the matter with you? Come on there, good Brownie, like." Would blame me if I was in the other side, and I would blame him if he was in the other. Oh no, Brownie and me was there, but we used to get a giggle and a laugh there. Yeah.
What about the big crowds when they started doing it?
Oh well, the crowds was amazing to us when they was coming onto the pitches and all that sort of thing. One guy who I know, they had to for a corner, they had to, you know, divide them up like a little rail. I had to come round and get at it because my old right peg, like, I've got to have a left-hand turn for that, you know, and to get them back there was funny. Copper's done it though. Yeah, Copper's done it. Yeah, but the crowds were out this world, weren't they?
Yeah, was it 75,000?
Well, it's 60 was the usual for a home game.
Yeah, it's unthinkable today, isn't it?
But how they got away, I don't know. They used to with those trams and that, didn't they? Yeah, that was another amazing thing to me. Those old trams along the bottom, they must have took some business.
Well, they were just all lined up there.
Well, we used to walk, have a bath, and walk up Church Lane to the top, and there would be the bus stop, you know, and there's queues there at the bus stop. So you got to go, and they used to shout out to you, and if you'd had a bad game, they used to give you some stick. Or if you had had a decent game, you know, done well today, you know, things like that you got.
Yeah.
So you had it twice going home anyway, going up to Shooters Hill Road where we all lived.
Well, were you putting digs were you in the clubhouse or?
No, I was in digs at first when I thought I was married and that. And when I got married, we bought this house in Ricklemarsh Road. There was well, we could have had, Glixton was there then, and Glixton had bought some houses for the players. Now, I had a choice whether I could have a house or not, I must admit that, but in hindsight now, there was a little paddy fella on the site of where they built all these houses in Ricklemarsh Road. It was a huge place it is now. And I went up like and I said, so I want to put my name down for it. I said, what? He said, 4. Well, don't forget, in those days a house was about £1,000, you know, or that there. And what a bloody fool, I never had it. You know, now you can understand it, can't you? When I go up that way now, I look at these houses and I think, oh dear, oh Lord. But he was a right merchant. He'd sell anything on the site. He was one of those. He was a right Spud Murphy, and I used to get on well with him. Well, me and Brownie did. Yeah, we used to get on well with him. But we bought a house each.
What sort of, I suppose the wages you were on then must have been better than sort of the...
£8 a week, £2 a win, £1 a draw.
Yeah.
And then they raised it in the end to £10 a week.
Yeah.
£2 a win, £1 a draw. Never got no more or anything.
You must have done right those few seasons leading up to the war.
Yeah. And they gave me my benefit and 650 quid. I'm all expecting to go and draw.
Yeah.
After the benefit, he had me up through the crowd to say thank you and all that over the phone and over the microphone and that sort of thing. Come down on the Friday when I went in from there, I had 225 quid. They stopped it all in a week, don't they? The tax people. Yeah. I was supposed to have 650 quid.
Yeah, that's what you got there.
Yeah, that's what I had there. Couldn't do nothing about it at all. Well, you know, 225 quid to me, to us then, was a lot of money, but I'll never forgot that.
In the promotion years, what were the last few matches of each season like? Were you under pressure or were you safe?
No, I can't see us being anything like that as they try to put on. I think this is only paper talk about pressure and all this. You're 11 players, you're going out there and you all want to win.
Yeah.
And if you don't win, you know that your money's going down. You're all pros. As I mean, no one cussed more than Brownie and me when we got beat. Especially when Bartram's done something bloody silly.
Someone said to me that he got short-sighted. He was all right on the short balls, but on the long ball he couldn't see him.
I don't say that. No. He was just bloody silly.
Yeah.
He loved the crowd and all that. Matthews wouldn't sign an autograph unless he got 2 bob or half a crown. he started that. He did it once at Charlton. Yeah. Wanted all us to do the same.
What was it like? Was it loads of kids around waiting for the players to come in?
I didn't mind kids, and all that. It was the only thing is when you was finished, they're still there. They waited all that time, but you wanted to get away somewhere, You wanted to go somewhere in a hurry, and that was the thing.
Yeah, 'cause once you stop in someone.
But I think it's an honour for you to sign an autograph off them. But they don't seem to do it today.
Yeah.
But Matthews, that's what he used to charge.
It's quite a steep price, really, wasn't it?
Well, as I say, what he was on at Blackpool, nobody knows, but I can't see him paying him any more than what he was entitled to. I mean, I listen to this Jimmy Hill at times on there. Now he was in all us with all the arguing, for money and all that. But now he must. But he's got on. Well, good luck to him. I don't begrudge anyone getting on at all.
No.
But I thought the wages were, especially with the gate money and all that, they used to have them. And of course, that finished me as far as seeding was concerned. I went and argued about my benefit,
What was the training like?
No, all right.
What was sort of a typical week?
No,
we had a match on a Saturday and there was no midweek game.
Well, you never come in on Mondays. That was a good thing.
Yeah.
Unless you was injured. If you was injured, you come in. Tuesdays you only done mornings. And then Wednesdays was the same unless you had a match. Thursdays and Fridays he used to make you do a bit of sprinting. Well, sprinting as far as we was concerned, but that was the only difference. Of course, we was all on this tennis ball, head ball, over a net and that sort of thing, or over a line drawn.
Yeah.
We were always very keen on that. You have 2 or 4 of you each end.
Yeah. And just heading the ball over the net, right?
Yeah, well, over the line, and as many an hour, Brownie would go along the floor with his nose on there and just nudge it over, because they ain't go for the chance at the other side, is it? Because we're playing. If we had any lemonade or anything, we had to pay for it. Yeah, they used to make us pay for it. Tried to.
Were there many in the team that smoked?
No, Brownie would always have a fag. Yeah, Brownie.
Yeah.
Smoke at half time and well, he was funny, Brownie. He used to when we used to play away in the morning, they used to let us out to go, and what all the married fellas used to do was buy a pair of stockings or something for the wife, or something for the wife. That was supposed to. But Brownie, all Brownie wanted was a pub where you got cider from the raw. Have you ever seen cider with it all bits and pieces in it and all that? He wanted that. Now, as soon as he saw that, he'd go in and he'd get a bloody pint of cider
Before a match.
and he used to say, "God, this will do you the world of good." He sit there, he'd drink that as for a match. And I'll never forget, one day I went down, I did get a bag up the back of my sentence at the back here at the end there. I'm lying there and I'm waiting there. He come over, he says, all mud was everywhere. He said, "If you'd had that bloody pint of cider with me," he said, "you wouldn't have been down there."
What about just away league matches or cup matches? How would you have travelled? Would it have been on train?
Yeah, most of it wasn't really train. We had a coach, at the end we had a coach to take us from Charlton, from the ground, to the London stations.
Yeah.
Used to have a coach to do that.
Well, before that you had to make your own way.
But no, the other way, we Trotter used to be, they used to all have to go a gang up Floyd Road, up Charlton, to Charlton Station, and wait all together like a little gang of kids. And he'd come and issue the tickets out. And I wouldn't have a ticket unless there was a 7 on the end of it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. So he used to have to, well, there was enough there, but the 1-7, he used to get me, give me a ticket. I used to do it the devil, but anything to wind Trotter up, you know, to wind him up.
Well, was he a very sort of serious man?
Yeah, he was. Well, he used to see us doing things which we should never have done. You know, about travelling and all this sort of thing. And he used to say, go easy fellas, you know, don't give him a hard time. If ever he finds out about it, well, we say he'd never find out. But so that reminds me, Brown and me, we come over to RAF one day on leave, and we got from abroad, we come from somewhere, and we got a bottle of port in one hand, 2 bananas, and the kiddies hadn't seen bananas in there. It was, you know, during the war, you know. 2 bananas and something else. Yeah. And going down the stairs at Charlton, I dropped my bloody port and my bloody bananas all the way from Broadway. And Brownie turns around and laughs at me.
It's broke your arm.
He bloody did. Carried it all that way over. Of course, on the train, like little people saying, you know, they're saying to their mothers, you know, they're telling them they're bananas, you know. We've been somewhere and got bananas.
But back on the away games, would you say you're playing up North Newcastle or something? Would you travelled up the day before?
Oh yeah, well that was the trouble. When we played in Newcastle and Sunderland, all the Geordies went home.
Yeah.
And the only that left is the Londoners, which is Brownie and me. Mostly that's all that's left. And of course we got the place to our bloody selves, but we did used to have to come back on that night. He used to have a coach waiting outside. We had to dress very quickly and get in the coach, and the coach would go a few miles to another station where it's going to stop at. And we used to get on there and get into London. Yeah. But he sometimes he'd do it like if they were all going to have the night out, you know, stay home the night. He used to let them go home for the night. Yeah. So there'd only be Brownie and me in the hotel. Yeah.
What about, I mean, obviously North East is not a typical, but if you're playing somewhere else and you're all in the hotel, was there on the night before, would there have been a curfew or anything like that?
Oh yeah, he'd say this and that, but Brownie and me used to get out. It was always a way out.
Yeah.
But the funny thing, if we went out on that Friday night, he wouldn't drink his scrumpy, you know. No, he'd only have that on the Saturday morning. That was funny. He reckoned a pint of scrumpy kept him going, especially with his old banded legs.
Because I think it was Derek Upton told me a story that when he was playing, which would be after the 40s, 50s, they used to, on Friday night, they have a meal in the hotel. And then they'd go out and they'd have a walk after the meal on Friday night. You'd have Jimmy Seed at the front, 6 pairs, all the players, and then Jimmy Trotter bringing up the rear. You know, they'd be sort of parading around the streets and sort of, you know, especially, isn't it?
He never had us like that. No.
What about, say, the Christmas fixtures, because you used to play home and away, didn't you?
Yeah, I bloody broken nose two Christmases running. Like Portsmouth we used to, always Portsmouth. Yeah, so, 2 Christmases running they broke it.
What about were you playing the time when, I noticed in Sam's book, about when the goal netting was set fire to, and he was hit on the back of the head with half a brick or something, chucked in the crowd.
Oh, he dreamt that up.
Did he?
Yeah. Gold, fire, satellite, hit on the back. And when I hit him on the back of the head, it would be hoaxy, you know, something he'd done.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah. What time's your train?
Well, there's a few this afternoon that I can go back on, so it's all right. I mean, if it's all right with you, I wouldn't mind to copy some of the stuff out of your scrapbook.
Yeah, really, do what you like.
And if we put a stop on that, so it's about your wedding. You got married in the morning and you're playing in the afternoon.
Yeah, yeah, you wouldn't give me no time off or anything.
No, it was the match against. Does it say?
West Brom.
Yeah.
Mm.
What about? Because I mean, you couldn't have had time for your reception or anything then. So when did you have that?
No, at night, we went back at night.
Yeah.
Had it, yeah. Yeah.
So it was just like a church service. And
Yeah,
then off
yeah,
down
all
the
the
road.
lads come back there. Yeah, come back in a place called Dartford.
Mhm. Dean's like Albert and Stanley. Did you have much contact with them?
Well, I did. I had quite a bit. You know, when the war came, to stop me from going in, they gave me a job over their place through the tunnel.
No, Stratford, wasn't it?
Yeah, Stratford, yeah. Through Blackwall Tunnel, I used to
Yeah.
have to go through there. Well, he put me in the office.
Mhm.
After 2 days I couldn't stand it, so I come back. So when I saw him on the Saturday, we was playing or something, and I said, "Oh, that's no good to me." He says, "What do you want to be?" I said, "A lorry driver."
Mm.
So he said, "You want to drive the lorry?" So I said, "Yeah, I'll drive the lorry." I went over there, I was a lorry driver.
Did you driven one before?
No. And anyway, I got to know all the lads and all that, and I was always on these lorries, and we used to have to go to with them over our from the back part, you know, come over the cab,
Yeah.
and there, and I went through Blackwall Tunnel
Mm.
one day, taking 2 of these there.
Mhm.
And as I went through, I was hitting all the lamps. You know, they were only bulbs in those
Just
days.
hanging down.
On the top there, yeah. And that was all. And I didn't know. And I was driving. Went all the way through the tunnel. No one caught me. Yeah, no one caught me. And
How did he find
yeah.
out then?
Oh, a fella was hooting to me at the back, you know,
Yeah.
hooting like hell. And I thought,
Yeah.
well, I can't stop in the tunnel, because the tunnel in those days was 2 ways.
Traffic, yeah.
And thought, I can't stop in here. Oh, what's he hooting for? And when I got outside, I stopped, and he said, "Yeah, you better get out." He said, "You've done it." I couldn't believe it. I hadn't even thought, you know.
Yeah.
Of course, then I got to know about it, and I was over there for some time. And then one day I drove in, over a year. I drove in, good as gold, you know. Pulled up with the lorry and all that, and the fella come over, and he says, "Here, your name Hobbis?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I've been looking for you." I said, "Well, what have I done, you know?" So he said, "You're dodging the calling up business, aren't you?" You know, the call up.
Yeah.
Of course, by then, a couple of the lads had come running over and says, "Don't talk to him, don't talk to him," you know. I said, "Well, he's just told me on the call up, see."
Mm.
He said, "We wanted to tell you not to come in." You so it was only like telling me there in front of him. Anyway, that's how I had to go in. I never volunteered, but I had to go in.
And was the RAF that called you up?
Yeah. Yeah, I got on well, especially with Michael. Michael Blickstein was a young lad, like,
Yeah.
knew him as a lad coming with us, he did, and all that, and his father. But I just can't make out why he hasn't sold that ground or something.
Well,
Because
he has sold it.
has
he
he?
sold it to the club.
Did he?
Yeah, the club, two of the directors, the present directors, bought it together with money from Langs, the development people. So he doesn't own it anymore. He's sold out. He doesn't own Valley at all. Since last March, that is. But they're still just there rotting away, you know, doing nothing. And they're talking
Because
about.
it's going to be built on. There's no doubt about it.
In the end, yeah. There's an application gone in for 4 acres, I think, which is the car park and the Valley Grove entrance on side. But
that's all it could be now.
the club haven't got the money to do it up, to make it into a football stadium again, and it needs to be changed. I mean, it wouldn't do. I mean, all that terracing, no matter how wonderful it is when it's full, when it's empty, it's a bleak place. It wouldn't do these days. Oh yeah, back on the tour of the stage. So I think when I spoke to Brian last week, he said that you all got banged up in the nick one night.
Oh yeah.
What happened there?
Yeah, well, we used to go when we played, like, he used to let us out, you know,
Yeah.
say let us out. It's always an evening game, but
Yeah.
we're there, but like, we used to creep and always going down for a drink. Well, about 5 or 6 of us all down there, down in this bar, having a drink. And in America, they have these little bowls with nuts in.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have it now in England, but that was probably the usual thing out there, wasn't it? And all that. Well, Turner, who was fullback, he's eating these nuts, see, and I'm standing at the side of him, and someone else is standing at the side of there. Anyway, this fella leans over and pulls them down there, in front of him, you know. Well, Turner was funny that way, see, so he thought it was, might thought it was bus off, for all I know. He leans over and he pulls them back. Just as simple as that. Next thing is, over the top of me, because I wasn't so big then, you know, over the top of me, limey, you know, and all this. Of course, as soon as he called him a limey, you know, that was Turner's head. Turner whacked him.
Yeah.
When he whacked him, I dived down. They all started, the Yanks all come in, you know, oh, there was there, but in a couple of seconds, there come these police. And we're all marched off. So we're saying, let us go and get CD, see? God knows where he was, but they took us in a kind of a wagon to this place. When they took us in, there's music going on a squeeze box with a darkie, you know, and they're singing, they are, and we've gone in there. So we start singing with them. Yeah.
So how many of you were taken down then?
Oh, Bradley wasn't in there. Then it was Turner. Yeah, that's right. Monty Wilkinson, Monty Wilkinson. You know, he wouldn't say boot or goose. God no, someone hit him across the head with a chair, he reckoned. That's what he made. He picked up the chair bit. So he told me, anyway. Yeah, and anyway, we all were singing with him. I had a smashing night.
Yeah.
The CD come back down the next day. Find me a tenner. Didn't find the others.
What about when you're getting towards the end of your career after the war?
Oh, actually, I never had much to do with him then. When there, I seemed to get a regular place and all this, and keep going. And I went in one day and asked him, you know, you're worried what you're going to do. I went in one day and asked him if there'd be any vacancies on the maintenance staff, you know, and he said, well, what, do you want to be a trainer? I said, no, I don't want to be a trainer or anything. But, you know, you might need someone, a coach or something like that. He just gave me one of them Geordie looks and I walked out.
When did you
so I knew I had no chance when he'd sacked me.
So when did you finally leave Charlton?
My last game was down at Millwall. Yeah, we was down at Millwall, and you know, you come up from Millwall and then opposite New Cross Gate Station there's a pub, isn't there?
Yeah, the Rose Inn.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's where I left my boots. I said, sod 'em, I ain't taking them back. I left my boots in there. I slung them under a chair. Yeah, because I had to carry my boots home.
Yeah.
Boots home playing, and that was my last game for Charlton at Millwall. And then I had a try at managing at Tunbridge. I went to Tunbridge and they made me a fair offer at the time in wages and that. But after about a couple of months, I realised that I'd never be a manager. You know, I hadn't got it for something. I'd never be a manager. Well, not in there anyway. But so I handed in my notice.
And then did you stay in football then?
No, I had a letter from Cullis, Wolverhampton, asking me if I'd go chief South East England scout. And I said, yeah. He said, well, come up and we'll have a chat. And so I went up there and we had a chat and all that sort of thing. He gave me some idea what I do, and I said, well, I don't know too much about it. And then I started going round these youth games. And they paid me a weekly wage and that there, and of course I've got quite a few boys up there.
Yeah, who did you, any names that stand out?
No, Bert Williams was the goalkeeper, was one of them. He went up there, and one or two others, one or two I had trouble with. And during that time I decided to go and be a publican. And I got my first pub during that time, so I nicked a boy, West Ham set. I can't remember his name. But I know Ted Fenton come over to the pub and started laying the law down about me thieving one. I said, but you sacked him. I said, how can I steal him when you sacked him, you know? But he never made anything up there anyway.
Yeah. So what was your first pub?
Made all right. The Manor Kent it was called.
That's in.
Is
it the one in Manor?
No, not just up to Crystal Palace. What's Sidley.
Sydenham?
Sidley. Oh, is it Sydenham?
Sydenham. Yeah.
Sydenham, Manor Kent, Sydenham was my first pub.
Then from then you moved on to where the Valley you ended up at, didn't you?
Yeah.
Was that the second one as well?
Well, when I took the one at Sydney, I had a kind of a back arrangements that they were going to build a pub in Chong. You know how things are ahead.
Yeah.
And would I go in here for some experience? And, and I went in there. For 2 years. And then what do I fell out. I fell out with the district manager there. Went there and I told him to stuff it. Walked out, which is silly. But that's what I did. So I was like that. We come out and we went over, and of all places in Hackney, and bought a newsagents. I did, and my son still runs it now. He took, and actually I bought the newsagent for one thing, keep him out of the forces, because it looked as if it was coming on again and all that. He had to go forces. So I took it, and then I made out that I was a bit rough and all this and couldn't run it. Yeah, you'll get me nicked in this, you know.
Don't worry about it.
And we was there some couple of years before they built this pub out there, and of course I went and took over on it.
Because the thing about the Valley pub, if people remember, is the photographs you had up on the wall in there.
Yeah.
Have you still got those?
That huge big thing.
Well,
no, they say it's down in the cellar now.
Yeah, was it the crowd, wasn't it, at the ground? And the,
yeah,
the
and
village
oh,
match.
it was a hell of a thing, and they always said that I was offside on it. There always used to be an argument, you know. But it was a huge, it was a hell of a, it cost me a few bob to get it. But someone said that it's down in the cellar. It must be all fading now and everything. But you wouldn't have anyone else in there, I mean.
No.
But it used to cause a little bit of talk amongst the locals.
Yeah, I'm sure. Where exactly? It's that pub, so I don't know where it
The
is.
valley?
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of the road. You go up Floyd Road from the ground, and then you turn into Church Lane.
Yeah.
And as you turn into Church Lane, you take the right-hand fork that goes up the hill.
Yeah, I know that one. There's a bookies on the corner.
What is it?
There's a bookies on the corner.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I know.
You go up there, and it's up there on the left.
Yeah.
Up the top of the hill on the left.
Go and have a look at it.
Yeah. Oh, if he was coming Charlton Village way, it'd be
It's on the left.
turn right to come down to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Maybe.
Not the Church Lane one,
Yeah.
the other one.
How were your parents, and did they support you in your football career? Because you were saying in the car
Oh, no.
that your mother always thought it was tainted man.
No, I mean, my mother never believed it, especially when I was getting all the cars, you know. I was the first Charlton player to have a Jag, you know. I've got a Jag, yeah.
How old were you then? Still in your 20s?
Oh, yeah, I had to have a flash car. Yeah, for birds. Oh, yeah. And Brownie wasn't about them kind of thing, he wasn't about. But I always was a flash bunkie with my car.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like in the end, looking back, it's better to have a decent one than an old bangers like they did used to have, trying to get a few things there. Of course, as the time went on, the players got cars, you know, got quite...
There can't have been that many in the 30s who had cars.
Quite there, no.
It's been quite a rare sight.
You know, I've got a deal with a fella for two tickets in the stand. He had a car deal in place through the tunnel and down one of the Euros there anyway. Not far out, West Ham and all that, but he had this and he only dealt in Jags. But for 2 tickets, he always phoned me up and says, I've got a decent one going here, you know. I used to get them changed over about every 3 years. And he used to say, I'll knock a bit off, he says, if you'll have my name on the back and phone number. So in the end I used to say yes, and then take it down.
There's like sort of, an early version of sort of sponsorship, isn't it? That's that kind of things. All the players these days are all getting sponsored by all these top players.
Yeah, it was something like that, I suppose. But I was always looking for a fiddle somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you're always trying to put one over on Jimmy's sleeve as well.
Oh yeah, if I could get it over on him.
Yeah. Was that difficult to do?
Look, I was captain at the time, and we won the second and the first division, right?
Yeah.
And they give him house.
First season up, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they give him house in Bromley. I know our house is different today, but But I give him house. God knows what Jack Phillips, the secretary, got. I don't know, but him being one of Glixton's like when he started, I suppose, and all this, I suppose he done well. But they gave us £20 to spend in a shop in Woolwich.
What was the shop?
All the players. No, any shop you go in and spend £20. And we'd won second to the third, the third to the second and the first.
It's an absolute bloody joke.
Joke? Of course,
sick joke, bloody sick joke.
Me being captain, like they all gone at me straight away, and I've gone and had a right go at it, but get out, just get out. I'll arrange for you to see Mr. Glixton. He's no nothing at all.
I mean, did the Glixtons actually spend much time with the players?
No. No.
So you just sort of see them sitting up in the stand on the match day, and maybe they pop roads in the dressing room.
Yeah, well, he'd come in, say, well done lads, and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And when you went away on the train,
Mm.
he'd speak to you all, but
Yeah.
that's as far.
Yeah.
That's as far he went.
And what about the sort of the financial restraints that the Bixtings put on Jimmy Seed? Or partly Jimmy Seed, I don't know. You know, whereby, I mean, his,
I don't
most
think.
expensive player was Don Walsh.
I don't think he had any restraints on him. If he did, he fiddled it.
Yeah.
But
Because if you look at all the players that Jimmy Seed bought and sold over the years he was at Charlton, he made a hell of a profit. That's been astute, whether he was just lucky in his selections. Because,
well, there was something that we never got to hear about or anything.
Yeah.
But that's where my wife was disgusted.
Mm.
Well, I know I had to put a few quid to a dress that she went and bought.
Yeah.
But that was never shown up, never made note in the papers or anything at the time, which we could do. I went to the reporters and told them, but they wouldn't put it in.
Yeah. I suppose a bit scandalous when it's sticky wicket, there's going to be sort of lawsuits and that flying around. Another story, but you playing the match at Stamford Bridge, it was on Christmas when Sam got left on the field.
Oh, I got left on the field. Andy did. The snow, the fog come down.
Yeah.
One of those. Well, you would never have seen it in your life, I shouldn't think, but it used to just come down and smog, we used to call it. And I'll tell you another thing. From there, we'd gone over there by coach, and this all comes down. And I can't see a thing, I'm standing on the wing there, and I've got the line, and the linesman's standing there too. I said, I reckon they've gone, don't you? So I said, well, let's say we strolled into the middle, and we never found anyone. So we followed the lines, and then we followed the lines down, and I knew where the tunnel was, and we've gone down, and we're the last ones off. And he, like all in, they were all laughing. They said, why don't you give us the wire or something like that? I said, what, we had a bloody job to find our own way out. Anyway, we got in the coach, now we're going to get home and all this. You know what he made us do? He made us take two of us each time to start walking with the driver on the way home.
Was that fit?
Yeah. Well, you could start seeing about 20 yards or 30 yards by then. It had kind of gone up a little bit, but that's to get home.
Yeah.
Because it was Christmas Day, he wanted to get home, wasn't he?
But Sam was left on the pitch as well, was he?
Who?
Sam Bartram was left on the pitch as well.
No, he wasn't on the pitch. Not to my knowledge, because we was the last ones off the pitch. It, me and the linesman. Yeah. 8 months, I think, something like that. Doing tubular and fibula, no.
Was it 2 breaks, was it?
Yeah. No, it's all down to Trotter, like, and Alec Earp, the assistant trainer. They worked on me like hell all the time. They would push a bike and all this sort of thing, still bike, and, which I thought at the time was a waste, but I suppose it was down to them in the end.
Yeah. When you actually first joined the club, it was still, I suppose it wasn't actually that old, was it? I mean, it was only 25 years old or something from when it had been founded. Did you ever get any of the sort of the original players or the people who actually started the club off coming in and putting their faces around?
No,
taking
not
any
to my
interest?
because I joined them as a boy of 16.
Yeah.
So in the dressing room, I wasn't allowed to talk really.
No. It was a real sort of definite hierarchy.
Yeah,
Players.
that's how it used to be. But
I mean, what would you call your senior players? Would you call them Mr. or Sir or
Oh
first
no,
name?
not
First
me.
name?
I don't
No.
call anyone that. No, no.
But did you get boys who
You
would
and
do
I, we're as equal as anything.
Mm.
It's like, I just had a big row the other day, parking my car in Eastbourne. A fella in a Jag started, put his hand on the Uto and kept it going, you know, till a warden came. And I never took no notice, but I knew I was in part of his way. Well, all right, you can be like that. You can come over and ask me to move or something. But anyway, the warden come over. He says, gentleman over there wants to get out, see? So I said, well, why don't he come? I've got a couple of marks there, you know, but you go to the FA, you've got to stand to attention. You still have to today.
Yeah.
And they're all about, what, 60s and 70s they're in and all that. Went away on one tour we did, and one tour they had to do one of the directors up on an oyster thing to get him onto the boat. Yeah.
What about your internationals then? When did you first get your call out?
No, 36.
36. What was the match?
Oh, I think I spoke on. Austria and Belgium.
Yeah.
Austria and Belgium.
Just had seeds.
Yeah, and that's when Hitler invaded Austria, when we was at Austria, and where we played, we couldn't, we played in Vienna. And we come in, we couldn't have a bath, we had to put our, carry our suits with us and on that, into a ambulance with all lights flashing into there, and they're going to take us to outside the border where a train will stop to pick us up.
Yeah.
And that's how we had to go. And who was with us was a tennis player, Susan Longman, whatever her name was.
Yeah.
She was with us.
So it's like
And they got her out. But before we started this match, we got beat 2-1. Before we started this match with Austria, Hitler shook hands with us.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he feel about that?
Well, when you see that afterwards, you don't know what to think, do you?
No,
They all
that's
put
right.
it down on him, didn't you? But
Yeah.
he's just a limp thing, wasn't he? But
Because it went a stage further. wasn't it?
we had to go all along to some place before we'd gone through the borders, and then we could put our clothes on over our kit till we got to Belgium, I think.
Did Jimmy C put you forward for the internationals, or was it the selectors just pick up on you?
Whatever it was, he wouldn't. The only thing he put me was in the nick.
And what about the second one? The second one was when? Same year or couple
So
of
yeah,
years?
the same there. Oh yeah, it was all that good. And there was, what, 8 Arsenal players in it, I think.
Yeah.
Or 6 Arsenal players in it. Yeah. They all got a game.
Some very famous names there. You got a cap in those days for each match?
Yeah, you did in those days, and the colour of the teams, you see.
Of the teams that you played
Yeah,
against?
you play against, yeah. They don't do that today, they only give you the one colour, don't they?
There's green, I think. Or was it blue? You said blue, isn't it? But how did you feel when you got your call up over the moon, I suppose?
What,
When
for
you was-
England?
Yeah.
Well, it's something that you don't kind of take any notice. It's just another day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it was for me, you know, I thought, but of course I was ambitious enough to wanted to get more, but then the leg came.
Yeah.
Well, the war came, and that was it.
Because no, it was never really. I mean, Charlton, although they were very successful in those sort of last few years of the 30s since they got promotion, they were never really a sort of a big club where they never had the star names, and so
No.
like Arsenal
No.
did, or Everton did.
No.
I mean, why was there a reason for that? Was it the fact that maybe C didn't sell the names of the players, or we just bothered about what went on the park on a Saturday rather than the publicity that went with everything? Or
No, well, I wouldn't know that, but
Because
C,
we-
people never give that right to C.
he stayed there with him for a long time.
Well, this is it. If he
Yeah.
was a Geordie, he was in.
Yeah. Are you doing sort of maintenance work down at the Valley during the close season? Or
No, never asked me anyway.
Because some of the players did that, didn't they? There's sort of stories of some sort of painting the barriers, or cleaning the seats in the stand, and that sort of business.
No, the Trotter and Alec, they always seem to be worried about their own bloody jobs, never mind about others coming in.
What was Alec Hurd like?
He was all right. He was a Scotsman, but he was all right. But someone told him he started selling chocolates at the end of my time, I think. Boxes of chocolates off cheap, and all that. And someone told him that I had said these boxes of chocolates are tainted or something, and he come rushing round to my house. Brownie started it, I reckon. Anything went wrong there, it was either me or Brownie.
Yeah. I mean, were there any other players there who were?
No one
got
else.
into trouble in the same way?
They'd all giggle and laugh, and that was about it.
Yeah.
But it was always. I suppose CD used to be like he used to when he had the team talk. Has anyone got anything to say? And nothing said. See, and then he'd pick on me. How about you? Is it? I would say, well, I think it's all a load of bloody rubbish until you get out there.
You didn't like that, okay?
No.
Are these all the actual photographs that you've got in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Is that outside the ground, or is that?
That's outside. That's Arsenal coming out of Arsenal's ground
I agree.
into the ambulance.
Was that after the game?
Yeah, during the game.
During the
actually.
game?
Yeah.
What were all those people doing outside?
Don't know. Couldn't get in.
Let's have a photograph of that. That's great. I should have brought you down. I've got some photographs of the Valley.